wait
A lot
till...
of fun.
Wait, should I look that way or this way?
You can look at him while you're talking to him. Just move the mic.
It's gonna be weird, like not talking together.
Just stay close to it, that's all. Like, keep it,
Yeah.
Oh, where's the actual dial pointing at now? Because there's no, like, arrow. The rest of them have arrows on it.
And you said you had this on.
Most of the time?
You got the speakers on? I was gonna say, you have to turn it up until, you can turn it down until you're ready to tune that down, because we don't need it blasted into the camera.
Is that good?
Plus,
That's it.
yeah, YouTube's gonna give me a hard time. Well, don't make me go through that again.
If you have the whole thing in there, it'll give you a hard time.
They're gonna recognize the melody, and
If it's copyrighted.
Have you ever had to deal with YouTube?
I have an admin who's posted a few things, so I don't deal with it.
They pick up on a melody that's playing, and they'll block the video.
What they'll end up doing is, if it's copyrighted, they'll send a notification to that person that uploaded it, and they can choose to copyright something.
But the person that uploaded it is who?
Foxy Pixie.
It's not their song.
Right, but it, wait, no, but
Just
they,
so we can talk. And then,
oh well, I'll turn it down at whenever the song ends.
how many minutes you got? 1?
1:15.
Okay, let it go, like 1 more minute. And your closing song is like I wish if I could change the room, I would,
Are you all
That would be gone.
oh well, yeah, can't say that on camera. I would make the desk thinner, so it was just the board, straight down, and he could put his legs under the board. The keyboard could be on a tray pulling out. You know?
It was. They broke
There's
it.
the pull-out thing right here.
Oh, okay, still
They broke it.
still awkward. Well, I have.
I'll turn it down at 3. We got 40 seconds left.
Alright. Oh, that was great. I get rid of the chairs with the arms.
I remember the first time we actually played music in the show, I just cut it off. Just straight immediately cut it off.
You can turn it down, yeah.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Kevin Storm Show.
Go ahead.
Stop. Today's show we have...
Do you remember how to pronounce? Laura?
Laura
Rokosz.
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 Rokosz. And she is...
Change her name.
Oh, food scientist.
Okay.
Okay.
So for any of you listening today, today's show will interest you if you want to know how to grow food for yourself more organically. So as far as birthdays go, I think we have quite a few. Today's birthdays: Marion Schreiner, who's a friend of ours, Mike Butt, Ann Davis, and Laura Fleischer. Monday is Angelica Zentino, Karen Levinson from HSUS, and Tabitha Letitia. Tuesday is Carol Fuller Edmonds and Rose Aguilar and Ravi Sharan. Wednesday is Layla Vaughn. Friday is feature guest Danny Bray and Donna Anderson. And also our guest's birthday is next Sunday, so happy birthday to you. We'll announce it next week on the show as well.
Well, thank you. I have a twin sister, so you have to
Oh,
wish
that's
her
so
happy
cool.
birthday too.
Jen, happy birthday.
Where's she at?
Mary lives in Illinois.
Oh, that's cool. Hi, Mary, if she's listening.
Maybe.
Okay, so to start off the show, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for a living?
Sure. I'm an integrative healthcare practitioner, which really, the site that you're located in, all these buildings, all these different specialties, they are all part of this integrated healthcare movement, which is really a way to keep people healthy to prevent them from getting sick. So I started my own practice called Eagle Rock Nutrition, and my goal is to provide dietary and lifestyle intervention strategy to keep people well. And part of that strategy is to teach my patients how to grow their own organic fruits and vegetables. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today.
That sounds really cool. When you first told my mom about it, she seemed really interested in wanting to set it up, but I don't think we have room anywhere.
We're gonna make room.
We're gonna make room?
Yeah, we're getting rid of the old computer and the desk
You
and,
say that for a lot of stuff.
yeah, but this is food.
Yeah? We have a lot of food.
We can grow our own. That's the point.
You just tried to take my picture and then moved it in the middle.
Don't worry about it. Talk to your guests.
Okay,
Pretend I'm not here.
so do you have any favorite, like, animal rights documentaries? Because there's a lot of them out now.
No particular documentary. I really, I'm on my Facebook page and I see a lot of really cute posts. I'm really enamored by the fact that this movement is really driven by young people, and so all the posts that I see are really speaking to, their young peers, and it's amazing how the level of understanding, the level that young people understand what's happening to the food supply and their ability and desire to ensure the best possible food source possible.
Okay.
What inspired you to get involved in food science?
Oh, that's a great question. When I was an undergraduate, I knew I wanted to be a scientist, but I didn't know what kind of a scientist. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm a long distance runner. At that time, I was running marathons with my boyfriend, who's now my husband of 28 years. And I had a friend who I ran with who came to me and said, I just took this course in food science. You're really going to like it. The professor runs. You have to take this class. And I thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. It sounds like a pretty good career move because people always have to eat. And I really like food. So let me find out what this is all about. And the professor, in fact, it was a runner and also a great teacher. He was such a compelling professor. He passed away of cancer 16 years ago, the year my daughter was born. But he really instilled in me a passion for the science of food. And it stuck with me.
When you go to potlucks, what type of foods do you prepare? And do you use the foods from your garden?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so anything that I can prepare now. So lately, now that I have the garden, I've only had it for 1 year, but now that I have this garden, any dish that I bring is just whatever's growing on the garden, that's what I bring. And then I'll throw in a grain. I like to add some kind of a grain to that, like a quinoa, a farro, something, a brown rice. Just clip anything that's growing, throw in some olive oil, garlic and onion, and add a grain, and it's a beautiful looking dish.
Are you a member of any animal rights groups?
No, just science-based groups.
Like what?
The Institute for Food Technologists and the Association for the Advancement of Science.
Cool. Have you gone to any demos?
Do you do demos?
I do demos for my group at my house, and now that I'm going to open up an office in the town where I live in Union, New Jersey, so I'll be doing demos and workshops. Actually, I do have a chef, a friend of mine. She's Indian, and she is an amazing cook. When I was before I retired from my job. She was one of my coworkers, and every now and then she'd cook for all of us. And so we met last winter, and she said, I'd like to cook for you. So she showed me how to sprout my own beans. Kevin, do you eat sprouted beans by any chance?
Yeah,
His
my mom sprouts beans every once in a while.
Yeah, well, her name is BG, and she's amazing. And if you look on my website, you'll see quite a few recipes from her. So she's just one person that I would like to bring for a demo, and maybe the chef that we met at the Super Simple Nutrition Day at Monmouth, I liked her as well.
Do you have any suggestions for beginners in gardening or plant-based eating?
I do have to say that the Aeroponic garden, this tower garden, really is a great way for a beginning gardener to get their thumb green because it requires minimal expertise. Although I've been growing flowers almost all my married life, I rarely delve into vegetables, but when I got my tower garden, it was super simple. Really just adding water, the food that it provides, and the plants really grow on their own.
What water are you putting in there? Is it filtered, distilled? Do you use it?
That's a great question, Susan. I do actually have a filter on my water, on my faucet, so the water is filtered. But really, if you don't have a filter on your faucet or on your hose outside, all you really need to do is fill a bucket of water and leave it outside for 24 hours uncovered. That's really just so that the chlorine can dissipate. Most of the waters that we have is, so you might need to add more food to your water because it might be, I don't know if you have, is it demineralized?
Well, so we have a treatment system in the basement and everything.
All right. Well, okay. I do want to say that when we were at the Monmouth University event, one of the speakers asked about the food, and I do want to let you know that the food really is just a very organic, natural mix of minerals, and they are the same minerals that you and I need in our bodies. So we need vitamins, we need major minerals and trace minerals. Well, the food is really just the same minerals that you find in dirt. And then there is a nitrogen supply, because as you know, in photosynthesis, the plants need nitrogen in order to grow, to make the proteins and the enzymes that they need to perpetuate their own growth.
You mentioned you were married. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 2 children. Emily is 16 years old, and my son Gerard is 14.
And do they like the food you prepare?
They do, but they're both really good cooks in their own right. So we all cook. My husband is a good cook, and I cook, and they cook. And of course, what I cook is a little bit different from what they cook. And but we're all everybody. We have a very nice kitchen, and we do spend a lot of time in the kitchen.
Is there a specific type of lighting that you would need, like sun lamps or just actual sunlight?
Ooh, great question. All right, the tower garden needs 6 hours of natural sunlight a day, and in the wintertime, that might be hard to get. My garden is right in front of a big window, and it's actually doing well, but it does come with grow lights. It does come with grow lights, so you can attach a cage onto your garden, and then the lights, just twist right onto the cage. So you could have lights or not have lights. But I do want to say this, that when you do bring your garden inside, if your windows are newer, windows that you purchase now, maybe since the 70s, actually have filters in them, and they may filter out some of the necessary rays that your plants need to do photosynthesis. So if you see your plants starting to get droopy, you probably need the grow lights in the wintertime.
Okay.
As far as the planter itself, can you talk about the dimensions of it and how you,
Sure.
where you put it?
Sure. Thank you so much for letting me talk this much about the tower garden. I do actually eventually want to just talk about what aeroponic gardening is. Okay, but the tower garden, first of all, this was invented by Tim Blank, and he created this for Epcot. If you ever went to Disney, went to Epcot, went to see the living display, this is his display. And so, he really loves his gardens, and he thought, like, how can I bring these to the masses? I mean, I don't want these great gardens just to be in Florida. I want them to be all over. So he partnered with a company called Juice Plus to help him market the tower gardens. So that's how, that's how I came to be associated with this tower garden. So the tower garden is in fact a tower, and the base is just this trough that holds 20 gallons of water. It's 33 inches in diameter, and when it's fully grown, when your plants are fully grown, it's about 6 feet high. So it's 6 feet tall and 33 inches in diameter.
Very cool. Do you have any favorite plant-based meats that you like, or brands?
What's a plant-based meat?
Well, like tofurkey, Gardein, do you ever use those products, and do you have a favorite?
No, I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
Have you tried any?
No, can you recommend one?
Yes. Well, tofurkey.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I've had tofurkey actually.
There's
I think I've had
so
that.
many, it's hard to
We
know where to
just-
begin, because Field Roast has a great sausage.
We just had tofurkey yesterday for dinner.
Yeah, we did.
A friend of ours, he made a tofurkey roast.
So tell me
Yeah,
what store you like to purchase the products at.
They all
have it now.
ShopRite, Acme, Stop and
Stop and
Shop. I don't know if we saw any at Bottom Dollar.
Whole Foods, no, not at Bottom Dollar. But,
Yeah, there's definitely Whole Foods.
there's a lot of different types, so, and I know people that make their own. And, you know, they'll get like either Vital Wheat Gluten or, you know,
Yeah,
protein.
Seton is really easy to make too. You can probably find tons of different ways to make it on the internet.
Asian markets have it too in a block, so you can slice it real thin. You can make like a Seton cheesesteak sandwich, and there's restaurants and places all over that have that now. So you
And
can
if you
order.
don't want to use a plant-based meat, you can just use tofu and just season. You can just use the same seasonings, and it would work just as well.
Well, yeah, freezing it changes the texture.
Yeah, tell me how you like soy. Do you eat a lot of soy, a little bit of soy?
I don't know.
It's very
I don't really have
controversial.
like a gauge on how much that I eat.
A couple times a week, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I don't really eat a whole bunch of plant-based meats that often. I use it on my sandwiches for lunch, and that's probably the most, unless I'm having, which I do use the tofu slices
with
on
tofu
my
in
lunch.
it.
Yeah, miso soup. We get that sometimes
Little
when we go to
pieces.
Chinese restaurants or something like that, and that has little pieces of tofu. Other than that, the only
Soy milk.
plant-based meat that I really eat occasionally is gonna be Gardein, and that's usually for dinner, and we just stick it in the microwave for a couple minutes and just have that with some sort of vegetable or salad or something. But yeah, definitely soy milk on cereal or almond milk. Actually,
yeah.
Recently we've been just using almond milk.
Yeah, so soy in moderation. That's sort of my motto. Read my blog on soy.
Okay.
You know, you'll see
I
the
don't think anybody binges on it.
yeah. No, some
Maybe.
people might. So, I mean, soy is so great, but it, you know, because you know, it's hard to find non-GMO soy.
Yeah.
So you want soy that really hasn't been modified. So just keep that
Well, a lot
in
of the
mind.
mock meats have right on the label whether it's non-GMO or not, so I like that.
Well,
That's
the most
cool.
obvious one is soy sauce, probably. When we go to a Chinese food restaurant,
it's
if we get
fermented, though.
rice, we just probably.
So what was the other, you said you wanted to talk about something else that you were doing.
Oh, the aeroponic.
Yeah. So I wanted to explain, because we really want to focus on the garden. I really wanted to explain the technology that the garden uses that it enable the plants to grow so rapidly.
Well, we've got about 9 or 10 minutes to just talk away.
Okay, great. Because for gardeners, you know, most gardeners are really accustomed to putting things in the ground and, you know, all the trials and tribulations that come with soil-based gardening. But because this does not use soil, it's really, really efficient. So the way your plants grow is that they're all sitting in their location in the tower. So the seedlings just sit right into these little cups, right? And in the bottom of the trough is actually a very small pump. It's about 4 inches
Like a fish
wide.
tank pump?
Yeah, like that. Okay, and what the pump does is it pumps water to the top of the tower, and the water trickles down through a shower cap. And as the water is trickling down, the air and the water are hitting the roots. And what that does is it promotes the circulation of the air. So not only are the roots being fed the water, but they're being nicely aerated. And that really expedites the growing process. Coupled with the fact that every now and then, maybe every 2 to 4 weeks, you're putting tonic into the water, which is food. Like, you know, plants need food,
What's
just like
in it?
you and I. Minerals, just minerals, and there's a nitrogen source. It's all organic food. It's a really, it's exactly what you would find in soil.
So can you make that, or are you buying it?
You can buy it. You can buy it. It comes with the garden. So when you buy this contraption, it comes with every single thing. It comes with, you know, all the cup, everything you need to grow it is all self-contained. But I just wanted to talk about why aeroponic gardening is just so, it's such a great concept. So it's so efficient because it doesn't use that much water. You're not in soil. The plants grow so much faster.
Oh, hold on. Technical difficulty? What is that sound?
Oh, jeez. It's around your ankle.
There,
Grab that.
you're fine.
Okay, the other piece fell.
No idea what that was, but
Oh darn, because this is really important. I
Yeah,
really
just-
want people to understand.
just continue.
Oh, let me know when I can start talking.
Yeah,
ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay, all right, yeah, because this is really the essence of this,
Go ahead.
discussion. So, I mean, you have hydroponic, like pure hydroponic gardening, where the roots are actually sitting in the water. And although that's also efficient and it's soil-less, it's very hard to control the rate at which the water is taken up by the roots. And so what happens is the cells take up too much water and they explode and the plants get really mushy. I actually have never seen this with my own garden, so definitely like some firsthand benefit.
Wasn't that what happens when you go to the produce aisle? Sometimes they have those little packages of basil you can just take home and put in water, and you do that, and they rot all the time.
Yes.
So that's the problem.
So that's one of the problems with hydroponic gardening. So this is a kind of hydroponic because it's soil less, but it's aeroponic because it's really the only method that you have that really facilitates the circulation of the air around the roots. And you can see how quickly your plants are growing, because when you open up the lid, you can see the roots growing. I mean, the roots start, they're like, a quarter of an inch, and in like 2 weeks, they're like a foot long. So you have to trim your roots, otherwise they'll start growing into the water. So just trim your roots.
With just this, how much food are you actually yielding from that?
You know what? It's the perfect amount of food for like a meal every week. So like you're not, whatever you're growing, you're not buying in the supermarket at all. So it's food. You know what? They actually have a nice little table that shows you precisely how much food you're harvesting every week and how much money you're saving. I don't really have those numbers committed to memory, but the thing I love about it is that when you're growing like vegetables in your garden, you get kind of like vegetable overload, and then you're giving everything away. This ended up like always being just the right amount of lettuce and herbs and fruits and vegetables that you need, every week. There's always something there. Like, for instance, my cherry tomatoes, I had cherry tomatoes from like, July, and I still have them. I still actually have a bowl. And because they're so fresh, I mean, the day of our very first frost, I probably clipped about 500 cherry tomatoes. I did give them away to one of the schools, but I kept a bowl of green tomatoes on my kitchen table. They're all red, like right now.
Oh, that's great. So, I mean, do you have a website for this that you can give out? And does it
Yeah.
have a list of suggested foods that you grow in
Yes,
that? Because there's some things
it's
you
all
can't.
there.
You're not
It's
gonna
not-
grow
well,
carrots, right?
The only thing you can't grow in this is a root. That's it. But everything else grows. Friends of mine grew melon and watermelon.
What?
Yeah, and
But you have to rest it on something, right?
no,
Some kind
well,
of
it
climb
comes with
up-
so this picture doesn't show the cage, but there's this cute little cage, and you put the melons on the bottom, and they grow around the cage.
So beans.
Oh
also.
yeah, beans, and beans don't even need the cage, and it's okay if things like fall over the side, because
No
you're not.
cats in the house.
No, somebody, friends of ours posted a really cute video of their dog eating the cucumbers off the jar garden.
Oh, that's cool.
Like just coming right up to the jar garden eating the cucumbers, so like a vegan dog.
That's cool. We got 6 cats, so they'll have a blast with this,
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, another question?
I did?
Yeah, you did. Go ahead.
I have no idea what you meant by it.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
by the way, we're cat sitting right now, so after I leave here, I have to go
Isn't that
remember to
fun?
feed the cats.
So do you teach this to children also, or just adults?
Yes, if you look at my website, you can see pictures. I actually go, I live in a big city, so there's a lot of K-4s and other schools. So I have gardens in the schools, and I go there and I set them up, and we troubleshoot because the gardens are inside, and one garden, as I mentioned before, there was no electricity outside the building, so we set it up in September. We had to create our own solar-powered battery to run the pump. So it doesn't need a lot of power, just the amount of energy you need for one strand of Christmas lights is the amount of power that you need to run the battery. So that was challenging, though. I mean, that was definitely challenging. We kept using up all the juice in the battery on cloudy days, and so we realized that we needed a backup battery, and so you always need to have a battery in the ready to
So this would be good for like people who like camp out extensively?
Yes. As a matter of fact, that's what the battery guy told me his battery and solar panel are usually used for. But the other garden I have is, it's funny, it's in the school that's on the street where I live, and it's in front of this huge picture window. And when I stand on my porch and I look down the street, I actually could see the garden.
That's
But
great.
that window, though, the windows have the filter in them, so that garden needs some internal and some grow lights.
So that's ideal for people in the city.
Absolutely, there are people like me that just cater to the city dwellers. So this is really for decks and balconies, it's the perfect thing.
I think it's really good for the kids in school. I think it's fantastic for them to be able to watch and eat what's they're growing themselves in a classroom, because you don't always have the option to grow everything out in the field.
No, it's great. They learn biology, chemistry, mathematics. They learn so much. Oh, one of the gardens, this is really cute. I came one day and one of the lettuces had aphids on it. Had lots of aphids. I'm like, oh darn, you have aphids. But the next time I came back, that lettuce was full of ladybugs, and all the aphids were gone.
Oh, that's great. I love ladybugs.
Did you ever read that story, Lady by Eric Carle? Ladybug. No.
We have praying mantises, so that's who I would invite in the house.
Yeah, but Lowe's actually sells an aphid spray that's organic, so you could use the aphid spray.
Very cool. Kevin, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask?
Are there any events coming up that you want to give a shout out for? Or?
Oh yeah, but I don't have a date. Brookdale Community College is hosting a women's event, and I'll be running a table there. But let me call back in a few weeks when I have my open house at my Eagle Rock Nutrition Healthcare practice in Union, New Jersey, and maybe we can have a shout out to the attendees. But feel free to call me and ask me if your school would like to have a tower garden.
That's
let me
a good
know.
idea. Yeah, you should talk to your
probably.
science teacher about that. I think that'd be really great. Maybe he'd have you in to do a demo.
He probably would.
We gotta talk to him.
He's got a whole bunch of plants on the heater in the back. He's just got a whole bunch of just green stalks and spider plants and all
You
that.
want to give out websites again and your phone number?
Sure. My website is eaglerock.com. That's EGGLROCK, which is an acronym for my children and my
That's cute.
team. Eaglerock.com, EGGLROCK.com.
Okay, very good.
Okay.
And phone number? Did you do that?
Sure. My phone number is 908-764-9062.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you for
And
doing the
Kevin,
show.
what was your opening song?
I have no idea, but it's off Manfred Mann's Earth Band Good Earth album. So
Good Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks
what,
for-
What are you closing with?
the next song on the album, I have no idea what it's
No,
called.
no. I gave you a second song.
No, you didn't.
I
There was
did.
only one under
It's
the
in the
announcement.
post. You have to click the button that says
I already
more
closed.
comments.
That was the thing that was going wah at the end of the thing, so I had to close Facebook.
Oh, that's messed up.
We're just gonna
okay.
end with another song, right?
Look at the
Thanks for
announcement on
listening
the
to the show.
page and check out KoreanDogs.org and NoToDogMeat.com.
And thanks for tuning in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura.
That
was cool.
That was
Very good.
fun. Oh my God.
Yeah, when I used to have people here, that's so neat. He's brought his friends a couple of times, but they didn't really say much, so.
So,
Oh, you forgot to give her this.
do you have a,
You wanna do
oh,
that?
yeah.
Sure.
Go ahead.
I want to take our picture of
Hi,
my
sorry,
JC.
Oh, okay. Very cool. He has the bumper sticker to give you. Oh, I love that song. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh,
No,
for-
just. Let me do it that way, guy.
Okay.
For being such a wonderful guest and coming all the way down here. It's very cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Great show. Thanks,
Actually, it
guys.
didn't take long.